Welcome back to the KCC, the Season 3, Week 8. This week we are going up against Leo, coach of the New York Gem Knights. Currently, Leo is the number one in my division, so this is going to be a tough matchup. His decks consist of Danger, Plunder Patrol, Thunder Dragons, Predaplants, Abyss Actors, and Fabled, and his staples, Lure of Darkness, Paw of Desires, Godarla, the Mystery Dust Kaiju, and Triple Tactics Talents. So going into this week, I knew it was going to be a challenge, but looking at his decks, I feel like I need to bring more AV control variants of decks, so I decided to bring my ABC deck, my Rikka deck, and my Aroma deck. Rikka and Aroma, even though they're low tier decks, they're good at controlling, and he doesn't really have anything that strong to deal with the boards I can set up with them if I can get to those boards. They also help me stall out games because even though his Danger is technically the deck, he runs it as a Banish variant where he sends a bunch of cards to the graveyard and then banishes them for Grand Maju and Eater of Millions. So yeah, those decks will help me hopefully stall out. But let us get into the battles and see what happens. So in game 1, I decide to bring Aroma. It is the weakest of my 3 decks, and hopefully I can, even if I lose, I can at least figure out what decks he still has remaining for the better matchup for my Rikka and my ABC. He decides to bring Thunder Dragons first. He can't tell by this hand, but it is what he decides to bring. And let us get into it. I do go first in this matchup. Here we go. Lead off with Aroma, Garden, and Garden. Get Laurel as well as increase my life points so that I can special summon the other one to make Jasmine. If only, I can't really go that far with this combo since I did start off with 2 L'Oreals. If I had like a different plant monster, Aroma monster that I could summon to get the health, that would have been better since you can't gain the 2 500s. But I do search out Angelica just so that I can send to the graveyard to special summon for Jasmine's effect, using Jasmine to get my Cherubim Princess out of Autumn Leaves. I do this because, for those that don't know Autumn Leaves, my opponent can't attack monsters except for that, as well as with Jasmine. If my life points are higher than my opponent's, which they are, my monsters can't be destroyed by battle. So if he's going to go for some sort of battle, he cannot destroy my monsters. If he goes for an effect that will get rid of Autumns, then I will be able to get a special summon to hopefully keep on building a deck that can lock as well as gain life points from the summoning of a Aroma monster to hopefully control his pace. Past the turn there, he does have Cosmic Cyclone and gets rid of my Garden. So now that the summon can't control that well, but he does Golden Sark for his Thunder Dragons, as well as playing Melody to keep on getting draws. And yeah, doing Thunder Dragon plays, sending a bunch of cards to the graveyard so that he can eventually summon Arch Nemesis, which is one of the few cards that can stop my board currently because he stops me from special summoning plant monsters, and since he destroyed my Cherubim, cannot special summon off of that, as well as cannot summon Marjoram from my hand when another plant monster was destroyed. So that is a big rip. But I do gain 1,000 life points, and hopefully if I can draw a good card here. And I don't. Child's Play, good card for spam summoning decks such as Thunder Dragons and Plunder Patrols and Dangers. but it's better if I start off with it in hand. And yeah, so not drawing an actual like Aroma card to continue plays is going to hinder me. And yeah, Child's Play. Hopefully he summons a bunch of monsters, or doesn't summon a bunch of monsters, and I can gain enough life points to survive another turn. But unfortunately, he uses Leveneer to get rid of it. I did get the 300, but if he did not get rid of it with Thunder Dragon Titan and another Leveneer, I would have actually had enough from those two summons to live. But rest in pepperoni. So I start off this series with a loss, but hopefully going into the second game I can pull off a victory, decide to go first again, hopefully set up a board he cannot break, or if he does break a piece of it, he will still not be able to get straight through me, and hopefully I can stall for time as he burns through a bunch of resources. But sadly, I started off with 2 Blessed Winds and my Princess of Autumn Leaves, as well as Marjoram, so I don't have a monster to summon, and yeah, not a really good start. Right here, probably should have played second Blessed Winds, because I do know that he is running the Cosmic Cyclone, even if he doesn't have it in his starting hand. If he does or does not, if he did, probably should have played it, which he does. And he activates that targeting my human wins, which is unfortunate, but I do still get the search off. But if he did not destroy it, I would have been able to get a gain 500 life points as well. And yeah, activating Blessed Wind to hopefully gain more life points, sending Autumn Leaves to the graveyard for our future follow-up plays. Of returning it to the deck for a search, possibly. But he is just using his Dangerous and Chaos Valkyrie to send a bunch of Thunder Dragons to the graveyard. And yeah, he once again has Arch Nemesis Ekotos, which is like, seriously, how is this man this lucky? And yeah, he just creates a big enough board right here to knock me out, so I surrender. Losing the first match 2-0, 0-2. Not a really good start, but at least Thunder Dragon's out of the way, so I know that I can deal with other stuff, most likely his Banish deck, as well as Plunder Patrol, since he really hasn't brought up Protoplants or Abyss Actors or Fabled deck in his previous matches. So going with that information, my best bet is to bring ABC next. Once again, trying to control the situation. This is the stick. Swap. I do decide to go first. Oh, wait, no. Maybe he decided to go first. Mixing up my games. But yeah, he decides to bring Plunder Patrol against my ABC. Luckily for me, I have Yin Hanger in hand for that search, as well as a Cosmic Cyclone. Use Cosmic Cyclone targeting the equipped monster. Probably should have targeted the one I didn't know, but I wanted to make sure that he couldn't get the search, because if he doesn't have any Plunder Patrols in hand, he can't really use the effects of his cards. Right here, I just decided to go for Tornado Dragon, because if I did go for my other plays with Galaxy Soldier or some of my other things, he could just negate it with this. So I decided just to go for Tornado Dragon, just to be able to beat over it. And hopefully, if he does get rid of Tornado Dragon, have follow-up plays with Heavy Mech Support Armor, as well as something else I could possibly draw. But yeah, Thunder Patrols, once again, another deck that likes to summon a lot, and is also somewhat of a control deck. And he goes for the deck, and once again, is just generating a lot of resources, which my deck kind of struggles against. if I do not set up the correct control, which he stopped me from doing. So yeah, summon heavy mech support armor, try and get a monster back, but he will just negate it and destroy it of his patrol ship. Just set debunk, try and bluff something. But he just activates a card, use debunk, and yeah, I lose right there. Unfortunate. This time, ABC is a better going first deck to set up Cyber Dragon Nova as well as ABC Buster Dragon. So I do decide to go first, but I kind of don't have any cards to allow me to get multiple summons in my starting hand, which is unfortunate. But I do have debunk to stop something in his hand, maybe, as well as Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of his field spell, or maybe something he equips to hopefully stop him from generating so much resources. And that's what I do. Cosmic Cyclone when he tries to get his shipyard, debunk the patrol, and yeah, he does not have any plays going here. So yeah, safe with Sea Crush Wyvern. And then I summon Bee-Buster Drake. Right here, I decide to chain Sea Crush Wyvern first because hopefully I was hoping that I would get Bee-Buster Drake's effect to search and then summon off of that for a stronger board. Possibly make Crusadia Avermax on top of Nova and ABC Buster Dragon, but he does have Skullmeister, so my greed is going to backfire as he negates that. And yeah, so do not get as much play as I could. Probably should not have greed since he didn't have many resources. I could have still created Nova as well as ABC. But unfortunately, I am just left with Union Carrier with mech support equipped to it. And Summon Breaker to make sure that he can't summon a bunch of stuff in his main phase and then go to battle to finish me, trying to stall here. And once again, control the situation. But he just gets rid of my support armor attached to Union Carrier by attacking it. And then main phase 2 gets a bunch of summons. Can't even search with Union Carrier because of patrol list. But he just gets rid of it with a patrol ship Mork instead. Try and create ABC Dragon Buster. Can't really use those effects because of 2 lists, so just go for the attack. Maybe I should have gone for Mork. I'm not sure if Mork can protect itself. But here, basically forced to try and bait out the negates to create a board. But since he has 2 lists, that will not work, and he just sets up a strong enough board with me having nothing to just swing for game. So once again, I lose the second set 2-0, so this is not looking good. But third match, hopefully I can win with my Rikka, forcing him to tribute stuff. And he does decide to bring his Banish deck. Here I do go first using Lone Fire Blossom to get Rikka Petal, just because it is a recurring piece. And I can definitely set up a strong enough board to stall out games with this combo. Right here, I make this mistake. I probably should have done level 4 for the rank 4 Rikka, and then sacked it with Jasmine to get another Rikka monster on the field. But I just straight up sack it for Mudane the Rikka Fairy. But yeah, could have easily have gotten another Rikka monster on top of having a Rikka Fairy Mudin on the field. But yeah, make that kind of mistake. So small mistakes starting to add up. But I am able to set up a big enough board where he definitely cannot swing over me in one hit with his Banish deck, as much as he would like to try. Back to my turn, recurring Rikka Petal because I only have Rikka Monster, or is it Rikka Monsters? I think it's just plant monsters. And yeah, searching out, forcing him to tribute, using Rikka Glamour, sacrifices him to get cherry blossoms, as well as to get trigger out the Rikka Queen. Probably should have summoned them in defense mode to help stall out, as I am able to force him to keep on sacking stuff. And of course he has a Grand Maju in the few remaining cards. But if he did not, I definitely probably could have stalled out for 3 turns with the recurrence of Rikka Petal as well as Rikka Flurries, forcing him to tribute Grand Maju. The only thing left I would have to really worry about is Eater of Millions, as well as possibly another Grand Maju. But yeah, like I said, small mistakes adding up. Could have easily summoned them in defense mode to have stopped him from enemy right there and make him lose by a deck out. But going into game 2, I decided to play more safe, try and mop up my horrible plays, using Fury to get a Torrential Tribute, to get Evil Thorn, into, of course, Jasmine, with a sacrifice to get out Archer, to get back Snowdrop to make the level 8, as well as set up a possible board that he cannot defeat. But of course he gets rid of my Torrential Tribute, but at least I still have Rikka Flurries. But of course he also has his Kaiju in hand to get rid of my Xyz monster. And yeah, he just banishes a lot of cards. And of course has a Grand Maju in hand to just beat over me. So this week I lost all 3 matches, 2-0. So this is a horrible week, and this might be tricky with me getting into playoffs. I would probably have to win the next 2 weeks, or not lose bad in one of them and win the other one decently. Next week I am going up against someone from another division. It is Bread Boy, coach of the Chesterfield Evil Twins, and hopefully I can pick up a W to lock in my position for playoffs. So catch you for that. Bye-bye!